All right. Again, same kind of concept. I'm making these videos back to back because like it's something that I kind of have a drive for right now. Lately, doing things is a little harder for me. So when I have the energy, here we are. Now, this is what it looks like when you get a filament, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up on the large camera, right there. You can kind of see 3D printed filament. It's about 1,000 grams of what do you call that? Of filament, and it's plastic. So it's a PLA plus, so it's a little bit stronger than your usual plastic. You know, like it's not necessarily the ideal thing, but it's also more it's stronger than what you usually get like when it comes to like base PLA. At least that's how they market it. I've noticed there's differences between like PLA support and PLA plus. PLA support is a type of filament that you use for, and this is what it looks like right off of the bat. If you can switch them out or respool them into a into oh god sakes. All right, we're gonna pause. I'll be right back. Okay, and I am back. And as I was saying, what you're gonna want to have is this. You can purchase it at like a place like Micro Center. That's usually where I get my 3D printing supplies. That's where I got my 3D printers. That's where I got my PC, my monitor. Like I ended up getting almost everything there. You know, so it's a very good store to go to. I actually met a couple of the managers there, and they were really sweet. They were really polite. They were very accommodating, and yeah, can't really recommend Micro Center enough for your 3D products or like 3D printing stuff or tech, because they, at least in Cali here where I'm at, on point. Like cheaper than most things, and yeah. All right, now we're going to go and we're actually going to go ahead and install this into the AMS. So I'm going to change this up really quick and make sure that you guys are kind of able to see what I'm going to be doing right there. Alrighty. So what you're seeing here is the AMS, and what the AMS does is you open it up right here, and then if you look at that, I have a couple of spools here of material. I got white, I got blue, and I got black. The black one's about to run out, so I'll probably be switching it out, or I have to go purchase some more black soon. But what I really want to do here is set up and install my orange, right? So you can see it right there. And if you look at it right now, I had a little bit of trouble turning, and that's because of the weight and the shape of the actual filament. What you're gonna want to do when that happens is just kind of keep an eye on it in terms of making sure that the actual filament isn't being too not the filament but the spool, the cardboard spool, like that circle on it. You want to make sure that it's not bent or damaged, because the AMS is gonna have trouble actually setting it up properly, and then you're just making your hot life more difficult than it really needs to be, you know. And all right, I think that's enough of the big camera. Let's switch back to like the screen so you can see the actual thing I'm gonna do right now. So we're gonna select scene. And we're gonna go over here now. Because this is my first time really playing with this, one of the things I will more than likely am going to do is I'm going to deselect this, and then I'm gonna select it, and I'm gonna change filament, and we're gonna actually change it to orange. Now that we've changed that to orange, because that's what I want as my base. I don't want to use black and then orange over it. I want the orange filament because I have so much orange filament. I want that to be the very first thing that kind of gets created. And now I'm actually going to clone this because when it comes to things like this, if you can get away with it, do more than one. Whenever you're working on a project, if it has more than one filament, do your utmost to just make sure that it can fit into one plate, because okay, so see for example here, this is something I just messed up, right? So one of the things that I messed up on, I completely forgot to add in the color other than orange. Now after it prints, I can paint in the black. Like that's something that's completely doable. I actually saw a YouTuber. I don't remember her name, but she was working on 3D prints just like I am, and she was actually mentioning how she's able to combine the 3D prints together by using like acetone. I think it was 2 parts wood filler, 1 part acetone, and then after coating it with a I believe it was a car detailer, like when you need to take off like small scratches off of your car, and after she did all that, before that all of that she used a grinder, or not grinder, a sandpaper, automatic sandpaper thing, to smooth it out, and yeah, like it's certainly possible to paint it on, and I'm very much willing so, but that's not what I want to do. Like again, I like quality. I want quality, right? And the way that I can do that is by controlling what I can control. And in this case, I can kind of do this, and then I kind of want to see if I'm able to fill in only those lines just like that. That was beautiful. I don't know what to tell you guys. That was perfection. I did not expect it to go that nicely. Oh wait, it's black. There you go. Look at that. Oh. And I think actually just to kind of give it my own, not exactly touch, but let me put this on TA. And now you guys can see how I kind of do the logo, right? So RI 3D. Read. And then we're gonna go to area black. It's going to be surface. Okay, let's see. Let's add horizontal text like that. I'm digging it a little bit more. So see, one of the things that is difficult about this, I'm actually going to make this 0.5, and then the embedded depth is going to be 0.2. Yeah, no, 0.4. No, let's make the embedded depth 1. So from what I understand, like this is how thick the letters are going to be, and then this is how deep it's actually going to go into the actual print. Oh, so this tower over here, you're always gonna need it. Don't worry too much about it. Just move it to the side. It's used for by the computer as I think a marker for the filament that it's supposed to use. But I really want to get that text in there. RI3D. So RI3D. I like that positioning. Alright, let's see. Let's re-angle you. Let's do horizontal text. Absolute perfection. looks nice. Okay. Let's remove that surface. It's gotta be right there. And then we're gonna change the filaments. There you go. RI3D. Beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna go to plate setting. Quality. Is it quality? It's global. Yes, I already have that. Support. I don't have any support, so I'm gonna enable the support now. And if you look at this over here, you got tree auto. And then I'm going to do on build plate only. That's actually very important because if you don't do on build plate only, what's going to happen is that the actual supports will be attached to the 3D prints, and you don't really want that. You know, like if the 3D print is attached to the support and you break it off, you have a very high chance of breaking off the actual, you know, like what you wanted to keep on there. So when it comes to supports, just try it on the build plate. Trust me, it saves you some effort and time later on. Because I printed some mask, not this one in particular, but another kind of mask, and what ended up happening is that the mask didn't work because it's not that they didn't work, it's they had a lot of scratches because when I broke off the supports would sometimes take off some extra material, you know? So you don't want to end up in a situation where you were printing for a really, really long time, you're really excited about a print, and you added in support, but because you added in, you forgot to add in on build plate only, you waste a lot of time. And I mean, you learn a lesson, but I'm telling you the lesson for free now, you know, like, I already went through that with my ducky. And alrighty. Okay, goes beyond plate boundaries. Why does the G path code plate boundaries? I might have to pull you up to the side. And then see another one. This is gonna take another 2 days, but now I've actually got 2 of these guys. G-code path is beyond plate boundaries, but where's the plates? Is it that one? I think it might be that. So in this situation, what I can try to do is I can try to pull this ever so slightly over here so that it doesn't actually go through the boundaries. And then pull you ever so slightly over here so that there's no problem with the boundaries. And another thing too is if for whatever reason right now I try it and it just doesn't want to go with one plate, I have to accept that. Sometimes you really can't force it even if you wanted to, because the more you try to force it, the more it kind of comes out wrong, you know? You kind of have to have like a bit of a strategy into making it fit. Like the swords, I didn't even try to duplicate anything because I knew that like the actual thing is way too big to duplicate anything on that, and I don't want to lose that much material. I don't want to lose that much time if I did something incorrectly, you know. This one, I really don't see a whole lot of reason why it would be difficult, but I mean, there's a lot of geometry involved in this one. The other ones were pretty smooth. This one isn't. You have a lot of like little points for those oranges, for that orange, you know. I'm actually gonna save this. If you save it, it's gonna save it to wherever you have a file. That's why I told you in this video or the previous video, extract your files so that you were able to save to them. I don't have to do all of this anymore. I can just go over here, load it in, and we're good to go. I can just print again if I ever need to. And for this one, we're gonna go ahead and select Hope, and we're gonna choose, I believe it's, no, and then, no. Let me see. Okay. That's 1 and 4. Okay, so we're gonna go A1 and A4. Okay, cool. I know it says pink, but the actual filament that you saw me like load in is actually, god damn it, see. So you can force it through this way, but again, I really wouldn't recommend it. Think about it. It's not made for that for a reason. What I did is I'm going to be sending an X1 carbon code or G code over to a P1S, right? Because I have two different versions of the printers, and it can work. But again, it's one of those things where do you really want to kind of take that chance and be like, oh, let me just mess around with this. I can't. I don't want to. I just like having to restart things because I was careless, you know. So yeah, gonna go. We got that right there. 7 hours 54 minutes. Print plate. And we're gonna go to A4 because that's where the actual orange is at. We got that A1 in there. Send. And yeah, see, now I don't get that message where it's saying, hey, are you sure you want to proceed with this G code? Because if I try to proceed with the G code and it's the wrong G code, you can have printing errors, and you're like, well, it let me send it. Well, yeah, just because it lets you do something doesn't mean it's actually going to work. You know, when I program, like, the computer will let me type out like statements in a certain kind of way, and it looks right, but when you try to run it, it doesn't work. So you just wasted time, you know? And there you go. And again, I always say it's going to be short, but it's already been like 20 minutes now. So we're going to kind of look at the other ones that are in progress. That's still Kitsune. Kind of going through. I think it looks pretty sweet. I dislike the yellow a little bit. I feel like it should have been stayed as white, but the yellow has that nice glow in the dark effect, so I can't really bash on it too much. It's just that for my own personal aesthetics, I don't necessarily like the yellow, but you gotta be patient. You gotta be hopeful that it will work. So patience, let's look at Hope. Hope is processing right now. It's downloading the smartphone basketball G code, and then Faith. Faith should have already started the Sovereign Blade. Yeah, see? And you see how these things are just kind of getting laid out. This is going to take a really long time. This is a really long process. And it gives you notification that tells you, hey, your filament is piled up in the back. You know, hey, you have spaghetti. Hey, like, as long as you're paying attention to your phone or to your app, you're gonna be okay. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I already saved what I needed to save. I started printing what I need to print. If you guys want something like this, I would say let me look at how the print comes out, and then I'll set a price for it. Just because again, it's 2 full days of pure printing, right? And if you think about it, 2 full days, that means I can't do anything during those 2 days with that machine. So what I'm like thinking of, I'm like, maybe $20-$30, and that feels like a lot, but again, that's $20 or $30 each, and I created it over 2 days. You know, like I'm making like $30 a day tops. It ain't that much. But yeah, we'll see. I'll set a final price later, or if not, these are actually some of the ones that my partner wanted to kind of take a look at and see if she could sell. So we'll see. Alrighty, I think that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you didn't.